I have an exciting, young, thriving, ambitious team who wants to bloody disrupt the monopoly industry of rideshare. What happened? Did you guys were going to a bar and see that, did you take the same Uber? I don't know. What happened?
Funny enough, Deepak doesn't drink, so there's no option for a bar there.
I always am a driver for these guys.
And now, see,
Correct, correct.
Deepak is deep into the tech side. I was drawn in the creative side, how to build brand, tell stories, and connect with people.
I think the team was formed and then you found the problem to solve.
Idea, exactly.
I love that. I think this is the cream of this episode. I love to capture this.
You won't believe it, but when I came here, I was a big introvert, right? I could not talk to people. I have zero communication skills. All of this because this environment and people have pushed me to be the better version of myself right now.
Why I'll be paying that subscription cost to you for a whole month, even if I want to drive for like a week or two, or even if couple of days in a week. That's the beauty of our journey.
We are here to listen to the people. We are here to solve the problems that exist instead of creating new problems where solutions are not needed.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining into another exciting episode on Gigpod. Look, if you're here for the first time, my name is Benjamin, and I'm the CEO and founder of MyGigsters. What do we do here? We are here, and as part of our marketplace builder series, we invite founders across the globe who are building amazing platforms and marketplaces in the space of gig economy, independent work, and in the future of work. And today, I have an exciting, young, thriving, ambitious team who wants to bloody disrupt the monopoly industry of rideshare. And I'm so excited to bring them on board and have a chat about their origin stories and what are they looking to do and to unpack the fabric of their foundations. So, with no further ado, let me invite the founders of the rideshare company called ROOO, ROOO. Check them out. They are a South Australian bred digital transformation company in the rideshare world. So, I've got Kuldeep Sharma and Saksham here. Thank you for joining you both. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Benji. We are doing really great, and it's really great to be here. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Exactly right.
Awesome. And look, I'm gonna go straight dive in, right? Like, give me this one-liner. What do you guys do? What is that one-liner of ROOO?
So basically, we are a local rideshare organization which is built by the locals for the locals.
Got it. I like it. That's a really good one line. Um, but now I'm gonna come back to this a little bit later. But I'm gonna ask. We've got people know people listening into this. They know what is a rideshare. They all know what rideshare is. And in many ways, my opinion is rideshare has kind of kickstarted the world of gig economy,
Yes.
has made people realize that you don't necessarily need to be somewhere and work for someone. You
Someone
could
else.
be
Yep.
you could be your own owner. Flexibility came up as because gig economy champions flexibility. It's one of the biggest attractive factors of being a freelancer or in independent work. And rideshare, I think, is it kind of initiated this in many
It
ways.
started the whole keychain. Yep.
Yes. Now, what is the origin story? Like, who are you guys? Seems like there is a backstory to how you met and how ROOO started. Like, I want to understand that part. Like, what is the origin story? Give me the day zero version of um, what happened. Did you guys were going to a bar and see that, did you take the same Uber? I don't know what happened.
Funny
I'm,
enough, Deepak doesn't drink, so there's no option for a bar there.
I always am a driver for these guys. Okay, so yeah, this really is a great question. So let me start with my introduction first. So as you mentioned, myself Kuldeepak Sharma, and I am one of the co-founders of ROOO. So I studied here at in Adelaide at Federation University, where I completed my bachelor's degree in information technology with a major in networking and security. So coming from a technical background, I have always been passionate about systems, infrastructure, problem solving, like checking behind the scenes how systems really work, what makes the things operational, how does everything work. And then one day we were just like we all used to do odd jobs back in the uni days, like making money and then working at pizza shops, driving rideshare, doing food delivery sort of things. And then we all just realized that at the end, driver is the one who is doing all the hard work. And then what is he actually getting out of it? Nothing. So if we think about it as a whole, at the end, driver has to use his own car. Driver pays for the fuels, all other related expenses, flat out battery, flat tire. At the end, driver works on a ABN because drivers are sole contractors, so they have to pay their own tax at the end. They are not eligible for superannuation. They are not eligible for any of the public holiday entitlements, any of the like base payments or any penalty rates. And then we were thinking, moreover, drivers are paying 27.5% commission on top of all this to the existing rideshare platforms. And then coming from the technical background, and then I was like, why not build something better? We all have the skills to do it. We all come from the same background. We know what actually it feels like to be a rideshare driver. What are the pain points? What are the actual like pain points in this whole industry? Because this is highly regulated industry by the government. If we talk about the rules and regulations, if we talk about the legislation, if we talk about the safety part of it, it is the heavily regulated industry. But at the same time, it is highly dominated industry as well at the same time. There are not many alternatives for the drivers, and at the end, it's all about that flexible earning experience, as you mentioned about gig economy. So it enables the drivers to earn whenever they want to earn, they can do whatever they want to do. And then this was like the main motivation behind it because we all just wanted to solve real world problem. And coming from the technical background gave us that ability to fully understand what does it makes, what it makes a rideshare platform. It's not only about getting trips, receiving trips. There is a lot of infrastructure behind it. We have to build real-time payment gateways, security systems, calling from one user to the another user by hiding the number, anonymous call. So it's a robust system. So we initially started with like what makes the platform better? How can people utilize the platform in order to get better experience out of it? And now,
Mm.
like it's a double-sided marketplace. One side is the drivers, and then second side is the riders. It's all about the supply and demand sort of thing, like how it actually works. And then we were like, okay, now we want to jump into this. We have the technical knowledge to build it. We surprisingly enough, we are five co-founders actually. It's not just me or Saksham. We have a whole team working behind the scenes on this. And then we were like, okay, so I'm better at getting accreditations. I'm better at checking the policies and procedures. Saksham is good at marketing, and then Hamza has got the technical expertise of building all this. So we all sat down one day, and then it was like, okay, now we want to do something. We want to do something for the local people of South Australia. We all studied in Adelaide, and that was the time when it was like, okay, why not just give it back to the community? Because we have taken lots and lots of things from this community
Hmm.
only, and now it is our time to give it back. And
Can
then
I
we
can
were
I quickly? Sorry, how did you guys meet? Like, do you guys like? I'm just curious on that. Like,
I'll take you through that story. I'll take you through that story. So, like Kuldeepak, right? I'm also an alumni of Federation University, and I studied alongside him and completed my bachelor's in IT. Me, Hamza, and Kuldeepak studied from the same university. Ended up getting a
okay,
house together, where one of our another founders came in, so we lived with him, and then another person came in. So it's we're all friends. We've known each other
okay,
for a long, long,
okay,
long time. And now,
got it,
see, my
got it.
Kuldeepak is deep into the tech side. I was drawn in the creative side, how to build brand, tell stories, and connect with people. We were sitting together. Funny enough, eating chicken pizza. Kuldeepak didn't have anything because he doesn't eat chicken. We're sitting like, oh, what can we do for the community? Like, we can do like, oh, pizza shop. We can open a pizza shop. We can do this and that. We can do delivery. Oh, but why not? It's time to give it back. I've been here 6 years. I've learned a lot from Adelaide. I've learned a lot from Australia. I've learned a lot from the people here. And I thought, instead of just thinking about ourselves and instead of thinking of how to make more money, why not give it back to the community who's given so much things back to us? For example, you won't believe it, but when I came here, I was a big, big introvert, right? I could not talk to people
Yeah.
at all. Zero communication skills. And look at where I am right now. All of this because this environment and people here pushed me to be the better version of myself right now. this is where we're at, and this is the reason we're doing this entire thing.
Nice. I like Kuldeep, when you mentioned there's a couple of key points that kind of highlights the whole background story. One, you guys have done this job. It's not like
Yes.
you watched it at a distance
No.
and like, "Oh, I feel very bad about this and I want to solve it." It's like you've been on the ground. And there's something that I like about MyGigsters is also all of our team members have done this. Like we've been on the floor. We've seen the good, bad, and ugly of being a geek worker, and that's why we were so passionate to solve this. So I like that part. The second thing is, you did highlight the point that it is a highly regulated industry. It is monopolized, as in it got only. But then you also see that this is the reason why it needs to be dismantled. This is the reason why it has to have it disrupted, and not that being scared and complying to it, but also like there is a better way to do it. So challenge the status quo is something that highlights. The third thing that I kind of came out was is that beautiful relationship that you guys got into. Like it's not like, oh, you went in a startup program and you met each other and networking event. Like, I want to build something, you want to build something. Let's, you know, this part of it seems like you guys found your way to come together to do something, and that something became ROOO. It's
Uh,
not like, I have an idea, ROOO. Let's go hire people, and are you good at it? Saksham, you're
Exactly.
good at marketing. Come on over. It wasn't like a
right.
team formation. I think the team was formed and then you found the problem to solve. So
Idea. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
Exactly.
love it.
Exactly right.
I love that part. Nice, nice. So thanks for sharing that. I really like that. This is the I think this is the cream of this episode. I love to capture these things. So give me a quick spin. So when did you start actually working on it? How far have you been working on this idea? Where are you right now?
Okay, so we started this idea like when we all were sitting in our living room and thinking what to do, what to start, and how to do, how to start. And we started in 2022. We started from an idea, and then the first thing which we did was we went to our accountant to register our company, and then we decided how to operate this because this is just like the beauty of our team because it's all been natural from the beginning. It wasn't like I'm from this background and then I'm reaching out to someone. I'm telling him, this is my skill set. I want to do this. Can you help me? Can you hire me? Things like that. It wasn't like that at all. It's all natural from the beginning. So then we incorporated our organization. As you know, the name is ROOO. And there is a story behind this name as well. This is not like a random thought which came into our mind. So when we think about rideshare, very few people call it rideshare. They actually know this by the names of the organizations who operate rideshare. And then this came into our mind that we want to keep our name short. And as we wanted to do something for the local community, we want to correlate our name with the local people. And that's how this name came up with ROOO. So it's everyone knows it's a slang for kangaroo. And then the first thing I did, I went to GoDaddy or Crazy Domains, I can't remember. And then I was like, I want to purchase this domain right away, roo.com.au. But unfortunately, it was already purchased by someone else. So we were like, why not just add another roo at the end to make it like look funny and to link it with
Simple
people?
love.
And then,
Right.
yeah. So this is how we came up with the name. And then we started our research because, there is no local Australian business who is running like into the rideshare space. So it was kind of difficult for us to understand the legal side of things on how to get accreditation. You can't just like go to public and say, this is my rideshare company, this is my mobile application. You install it and let me take you to your destination. So
Correct.
we have to go through whole lot of legal accreditation process, and then we started our journey, and then we met couple of lawyers in Adelaide. And as like we don't come from like heavy corporate worlds, or we haven't got like big capital in our banks. It was all our saved money. That's how we started our journey. And then we met couple of lawyers, but then at the end the fees was like way too much for us to start with at that point of time. And then we were like, are we doing the right thing or no? Is it beneficial or no? And then we were just thinking about ourselves that I have to go do another rideshare trip. Will I be making something out of it or no? And then we were like, okay, we have to do it, let's do it. And then we started our research. We came to know about like the Department of Transport, they issue accreditation to the rideshare departments, and then we started working on it as a
Mhm.
team, and then we started forming our partnerships. And then the partnerships part will be explained by Saksham better afterwards. And then we started on the technical side of things, how to make the system robust, how to get the best user experience out of it. And now the current state where we are at this stage is we are just at the last final phases of our mobile application testing, and we aim to go live by July. That's where we are
Awesome.
at this stage.
Honestly,
Nice.
in short, what we're trying to say is we knocked on a lot of doors, a lot of them
Yeah.
closed, but finally one open. And since that one door has been open, since then sailing has been smooth so far. It's been a
Nice.
really long journey, but since we're at the final stage, we're really, really, really hyped and really looking forward to what comes next.
I have to say, you guys have done a lot in 2 years. I- I- Obviously, when you look at it, it doesn't feel like. But when I hear this, I'm like, dude, that's been done in the last 2 years. You forgot that, right? You built an entire mobile application, had to build the brand, had to go to the lawyers, figure out licensing. It's
Correct.
and with not heavy cash in the bank and be able
Exactly.
to pull it off, it's commendable. So I really, that's a good job done. This is also exciting times
Exciting
because
times ahead.
to let the world know what ROOO stands for and what ROOO's mission is, and to help the community back the way it has always started. So, I know I've been knowing you guys for almost few months now, and we've been having a chat about your journey. Um, what makes without spilling the secrets and the beans before the launch, but what is that little one unique difference that ROOO is going to bring to the table for the rideshare industry?
Yeah, okay. So actually at this stage, as I mentioned, that we are just in the last phases of mobile application testing. So we are comfortable to share our model with everyone. So the biggest differentiator between us and the other rideshare platforms is our unique revenue model. We won't be charging any commission from our drivers. Yes, no commissions at all, 0% commission. On the other side, we will be taking like some sort of fixed subscription fees, similar to Netflix model. You pay the fees and then you watch the movie. It's the same thing. You pay us some sort of money and then you can do as many trips as you want. There will be no limitations, no restrictions. And now another question will come into your mind is, what if I'm not a full-time rideshare driver? Why I'll be paying that subscription cost to you for a whole month, even if I want to drive for like a week or two, or even if couple of days in a week. So that's the beauty of our journey. So as we are local, we have our local office here in Adelaide. We are more than happy to talk to drivers and to build custom plans for them in terms of the subscription, because we just don't want to take money out of them, but we just want to give the power back in the hands of the drivers. Because what rideshare is highly organized because of the drivers who work for these organizations. Now, to summarize this, let's say like a normal rideshare driver, they can earn anywhere between $4,000 to $8,000 a month on a monthly basis. So let's talk about the minimum wage, like 4,000 a month. So if a driver is getting $4,000 after paying the commission to the rideshare organization, it means that their actual earning was around $5,500, 5,500. And now on a monthly basis, they have already given 1,500 in terms of commission to that platform already. And now that being said, after giving that 1,500, now the driver has to sort out their personal finance, their expenses. They'll have to pay for their fuel costs, their car servicing costs, their accountancy cost as well, because they have to pay their business activity statement on a quarterly basis. And now, if we sum this up, so an average rideshare driver pays around $18,000 on a yearly basis to the platform. That's actually the tax-free threshold if we talk about the ATO terms. I mean, that's like huge. That's too much. And now we come into play. So we will be charging a fixed subscription cost, which will be way too less than this commission cost. So the driver will be able to hold the money in their own hands. It will give them the sense of financial stability and security. And on the other side, now, if the driver is happy, they are making good money, they will be able to give better rideshare experience to our riders. So it will be a win-win situation for both sides of the marketplace model. Our drivers will be happy, our riders will be happy. Moreover, we are local. Like we don't need to pay any international taxes. We don't have to hire like people, outsource people from call centers and to run all that infrastructure. So we will be able to minimize that cost, and then we will be able to give that money back to our community, back to our drivers. We will be able to incentivize them. We will be able to give back to the local public because we are just eliminating that 27.5% out of this game.
The
Yeah.
gist is that if you go ahead and call us, it's going to be one of us picking up, and one of us is going to be listening to your problems instead of, hey, press one if you have this issue, press three if you want to complain, and press three if you want to do nothing. We are here to listen to the people. We are here to solve the problems that exist instead of creating new problems where solutions are not needed. The issue right now that we're seeing is that drivers have no say in the market. If a customer complains just to get a free ride, they can be like, oh, this driver misbehaved with me. This driver did this and that and this and that. And now the driver's platform is going to be closed essentially for a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But if a person is doing rideshare for full time, that essentially means that they have no means of earning now.
Mm-mm.
If we come in, we listen to what they're saying, we gather evidence, we actually go through the case fact by fact, and then we finalize, oh, maybe this is a false claim. The driver actually feels listened and values. And like Kulipak also said, rideshare is made primarily by drivers because if there's no drivers, I mean,
Who's gonna
no point.
take you? Yeah.
Right? This is where our local factor come in. It's not just that we're again for the locals from the local, it's we're also here to listen to the local people.
Beyond the revenue model, which is really smart, by the way, and beyond the revenue model, what I really like about what you're trying to achieve is trying to hyper localize
Exactly.
the service model, um, and in a way that brings you a lot of strength and a lot of cost efficiencies because as you mentioned, if you're running this, if you're let's say ROOO edition of South Australia is there, it's going to help South Australians travel better every day, connect with the community in better ways. And I know South Australia because I live there. It is a community driven state. Everybody
Exactly.
knows everybody. You know,
100%.
if the world has 3 degrees of the next contact, South Australia has 1.5. So, um, which amplifies the whole value of ROO, I believe, in a way, because that community driven ecosystem, people love to be part of it, and there's more opportunities to bring more value to the community. So very good. Um, my question is a slightly spin-off, right? But I don't want it to. It's a challenge that I see, but I'm curious how you will handle this challenge. And number one is the changing landscape of regulatory requirements. With Fair Work now coming onto the scene, there are some regulations around deactivation policies and a regulation around onboarding verification, fair transparencies, and now ATO on one end wants chasing all the rideshare drivers for bus lodgements and making sure. So it seems like the industry is being noticed and being spotlighted from different spaces, like Fair Work, got ATO, and how does ROO see this landscape of changing regulations, and how you plan to keep up with it, or what's your stand?
I am actually in favor of all these changes because at the end, the industry is highly regulated, as I mentioned earlier, but it is only regulated in terms of the particular procedures or processes which the driver has to go through. Let's say if a driver needs to get driver accreditation or operator accreditation, they'll have to find local insurance organization first, and then they'll have to take their car for inspection to RAA or any other local vendor. And after they get their inspection approved, then they visit local service SAs to get their operator accreditation and the driver accreditation. But let's look into this from the bigger angle, from the angle of the ATO, from the angle of the taxation departments. They are just trying to make it fair and transparent in terms of the earnings for the drivers, because at the end I know, like, it's the driver's choice to do gig work instead of doing full-time jobs for big corporates. It gives them the flexibility, it gives them their own working hours, but at the end driver is still working. They are still operating in the market, so they have that right to have their say in front of public, to tell everyone what they actually need. There should be, like, at least some sort of policies in place that you can't just deactivate driver's account without proper clarification or without even talking to the driver, like what happened, what went wrong while you were on the trip, what were the core issues between that from start to end destination. So I actually am in favor of this. So that's the idea of the local organization. So when you think about the international organizations, they operate like from different countries. They don't have that local connection with the local councils. They don't have that their say in market. So that's where we come into play. So we are more than happy to organize like quarterly or yearly review meetings with the local councils or with the state government to let them know about the statistics, like this. These are the reports which we have gathered from our platform. These are the things which need work on. These are the little parts which we need to improve, because at the end, this all is for the betterment of the drivers. We should support all this.
Honestly, also, we've been keeping a close eye on the ATO's updates, especially their new push on income transparency, which you just mentioned. At True, actually, we welcome that kind of clarity because, like, for too long, drivers have been stuck between platforms, not disclosing earnings clearly and the tax system catching up late. Now, this creates stress and confusion, and we're building ROOO to be different, fully transparent earnings, clear records, proper invoicing, and operational tools. We don't see compliance as a burden, but as a foundation for trust. Because if riders feel safer, drivers feel supported, and regulators know we're here to raise standards and not dodge them, ROOO is here for the long game. That's what it comes up to be.
No, no, well said. Well said. I think um, when MyGigsters started, we were thankfully supported by governments across the country. We worked with the likes of WorkSafe Victoria, State Transport Victoria, and we worked with CPVV, which actually was the licensing body for
Yes,
Victorian rideshare. And one thing that came out very clear of those engagements with the government was government um, was behind. One of my friends put it was away from the battlefield in a way, and they didn't have information or insights on how this could do, and it was making them harder to. Not sure at what point you missed me, but yeah. Look, what I was trying to say is governments are behind and they are unable to get the insights and the actual stories in the ground because
exactly. Yes,
what is being presented to them is being
is a
either
complete
very
story.
very historic. It's not real time, and it's also a different perspective to what is available for the ground. So nice. Thank you for sharing that. And I think using compliance as a foundational pillar for building an organization is always a win, and you tend to have a longer game as opposed to dodging and lobbying and all of that sort of
Exactly.
stuff. I want to ask you a question which is pretty popular across building two-sided marketplace. We have this chicken and egg problem, which I'm curious how your team is planning to or handling it right now. Who comes first into this platform, and how you intend to solve this problem? Like, do we get the riders first or the drivers first? What's your go-to market strategy of solving this chicken and egg problem?
Okay. Really interesting question, and this actually is one of the pain points, not only for us, for every marketplace business where they have to manage and handle two sides of it, not just one side. So, our main customer will be our driver. That's something which we are clear about from the beginning. If our driver is happy, if our driver is able to make good earning, if we are able to give that sense of financial stability or financial sort of security to the driver, at the end, driver will be able to provide better overall rideshare experience to the rider. So let's add the all, it only comes up to the earning which the driver is getting on a per trip basis. Let's say, what is the reason of the cancellations? Why drivers normally cancels jobs from the platforms? Because of the short distance. Because they
Mm.
know that if they accept this trip, they are not able to make anything out of it because they are paying again that commission to the platform. Whereas on our side, driver knows even if it is a short trip, even if it is a long trip, even that trip is with surge pricing, even it is without surge pricing, they are still making 27.5% more of what they are making. Yes. So there will be like a win-win strategy for the drivers. They don't really have to think about whether I should accept this trip, whether I should cancel this trip. And then this gives seamless experience to the rider on the other side, because if the rider wants to just go like two streets from here, they still will be able to get the driver at their doorstep, and then they'll be able to like make that good connection, because at the end, driver is now happy that they are able to make good earnings, they're able to make good money. And moreover, we think if there are no drivers on the platform, then there is no point of giving like better offers or better deals
Yes.
to the riders, because there is no one there to take them to their end destination. So that's something which we are like crystal clear, like driver will be our main customer, even though rider holds the similar importance to us. But driver is the backbone of the rideshare industry.
Got it.
Honestly, we also believe that if you don't have a strong, happy driver network, you already lost the game, right? Drivers are the
Yes.
face of the platform. They're the ones who carry the experience. And if they're not respected and paid fairly, no amount of rider acquisition can fix that. And to answer your question, we're also onboarding drivers right now through local outreach, forums, and community sessions, but not just for numbers. We're also involving them in the process, asking them about the ideal pricing, features, and then pain points, right? This way, when we launch full scale rider acquisition, we know that the backend is ready to deliver a great experience.
Nah, good, good. Nice, nice. I like that. For the first time, I'm hearing a platform come and say the very problem that MyGigsters also wants to solve.
That's what we
Yes,
have in common.
yes, somebody take care of these guys. Um,
Exactly. Someone has
um,
to.
yes, and no, thank you for taking that view that uh, the marketplace, such as rideshare and delivery, for example, because these are marketplaces that have an on-demand infrastructure. It requires to have a very particular attention to the workers, and in this case, these workers are, in most cases, at least in Australia, immigrants or people who come from cultural, linguistically diverse backgrounds.
Exactly
English
right.
is probably not their first language. They are first
Exactly.
in the country. They probably don't understand taxes and GST and BAS, and for many, it meets their essential needs as a primary income source or a big part of the income source. I know a lot of them on the roads, do this for a number of hours just to meet, some basic needs and stuff. So while while I know the big companies always portray this as a big luxury item for few drivers who do this on weekends, and
Yeah,
I know there are drivers do this, but let's agree the big part of the drivers do this because they want to meet their bills, pay their bills,
100%.
exactly.
and
100%.
so I like the approach of you taking care of the financial stability of this, but I also noticed that you mentioned about partnerships. So tell me, what are the partnerships that you're building? How do you think it will benefit your marketplace and especially the drivers?
I'll take the lead for that one. Currently, we're partnered with Breakthrough Foundation, who assists in mental health research. We're also trying to focus towards other sectors and partnering with organizations that have a meaningful impact on the local government, right? Um, we are not just focusing on organizations that can just bring us revenue. Again, the whole point of ROOO is to support the local community and support the local people. We're trying to partner with people who can actually help the rideshare industry and South Australia as a whole. The whole reason we partnered with Breakthrough Foundation personally is because when I came here, I struggled with mental health. Leaving your country, leaving everything you know behind, coming here at 18 years old and starting everything from scratch takes a big, big toll on your mind, right? I didn't have a lot of people to talk to at that time. That's why with Breakthrough Foundation, we're trying to break that whole first point of contact and having drivers train in that sector so people can at least have those conversations. And if people can pick up those small cues, even a small conversation can have a big, big, big impact. Other foundations we're trying to partner with are Youth Foundation, and another foundation is also Zara Foundation that we're trying to partner with at the moment, who support women who are a victim of domestic violence. So again, it's not just, oh, I want to partner with you because you give me more money. It's about, I want to partner with you because me and you together can build something that's more meaningful than what others have right now.
Now, well said. Now, thanks. I like that community. See, it's all. It seems like it's a
Community
good
building.
it's a
Yeah.
good recipe. It's a good cocktail that South Australia needs. It's got the flavor of impact. It's got the flavor of community-driven initiative. It's young people disrupting it. It is build the right ethical business model. It is putting the driver in the middle. And I love this whole concoction that you're trying to build.
Thanks. Thank you.
I'm getting excited now. I know that the rideshare industry is rapidly changing. It has evolved to
It
what
is.
it was earlier to what it is today. But I also know the future is very different and it's going to be different. We read the news not very lately that the robo taxis are getting trialed on the roads, I guess, in Sydney. It is already there by Lyft. Lyft is one of the biggest operators of robo taxis in the US, and some states have already adopted it. How do you see Elon Musk a couple of months ago came and said he will have a Tesla fleet of rideshare, as in rideshare service? What do you think? What's as a young startup trying to disrupt the space? What's your view on this futuristic world that we anticipate?
It's an ever-changing world, and like we all come from the technical background, so we are actually big believers in the technology. I won't be able to say that it's just a myth, it's just a thought, it's not gonna happen. It will definitely come into play eventually. So let's say if we talk about next 10 years from now on, it won't be like we can't just eliminate drivers completely from this picture. Drivers will still have to be here to assist with like other jobs, let's say delivery or assisting with transportation of the elderly people, people with disabilities, that sort of stuff. So drivers will still exist in this model. And what our main aim is, so as I mentioned that we want to give everything back to our drivers. So instead of taking power from our drivers, we have already started working on this in the back end. We are actually figuring out ways how we can actually get our existing drivers to co-own or co-invest in the autonomous vehicles.
Nice.
Because as of now, also there is one driver who actually drives the car and makes money out of it. So the ratio of cars and the drivers will have to be equal to exist, like to get this whole autonomous vehicles into effect. So if driver is actually able to co-own that vehicle and get some money out of it, and then as I said, we are local, we will be able to like transition our drivers from rideshare business, like data plays a crucial role in here. It's always not like it's my hobby to drive rideshare. Sometimes it becomes my necessity because I'm not able to secure another job. So, in order to cope up with my financial bills, in order to pay my bills, I have to do this job, that kind of stuff. So, now when we are in market, we will be able to gather those insights from our drivers. Now we know like we have thousands of drivers and some are good in marketing, some are good in technology. So couple of drivers comes from the hospitality background, couple of drivers comes from the accounting background. We will be able to help them transition from ride sharing to the jobs which they actually want to do, but they were not able to do due to some other external circumstances. And at the same time, we can help them investing in the autonomous vehicles as well, so that they can actually get something out of it. I think, yeah, that's the idea behind it.
Honestly, Benji, the future is coming really fast. You're 100% right. Like autonomous vehicles, well, robo taxis, AI routing. It's no longer sci-fi, Terminator and RoboCop. Like it's really real. But here's the thing, right? Technology might evolve, but human connection can never go out of date. Right? We're
Exactly.
not anti-innovation at ROOO. In fact, we're really excited about how tech can improve safety, reduce emissions, optimize logistics, and all that. But we're also believing that at the heart of rideshare, it's not just about moving people; it's about creating opportunities and telling those stories, right? For thousands and thousands of Australians, rideshare is a livelihood. It's like a secondary income or like a stepping stone. And again, we're already thinking about future proofing, investing in EV partnerships, talking about driver upskilling, and preparing for a mixed fleet where automation supports but doesn't replace the people behind the wheel. That's the whole idea.
I think the best approach to technology is embracing and adopting technology to the degree that it helps the community and also amplifies the human experience of it, and then eliminates where humans could play a better role. The idea of ROO seems to be, like, I don't know if for the listeners who are watching IPL, there's this fantasy cricket team that comes with IPL. You pick the best you pick the best ones across all IPL teams and you put one team and that becomes the fantasy league team. And to me, ROO sounds like the fantasy rideshare company. You take the best elements of building a startup, building a two-sided marketplace, building a community, building an ethical, good business model, and it seems like the best of all 11 comes together. Um,
Exactly.
Dream
I
That's
am
come
the goal.
super. I am super excited about what ROO is about to offer to South Australians, and also to offer to the world of gig economy, which I am very passionate about. I'm so excited about your team as a young partnership coming together to disrupt and challenge the space. And I think, for nevertheless, what you've done so far as a testament to your passion and to your purpose-driven approach to building this. Or kudos to everything. And I would love to go. I'd love to keep this chat going on, and I'm 100% going to bring you guys back on the episode again because we're going to capture the story again to let know what has happened and what how far ROO has gone to. But I know my listeners like Benji. What's the next from here? How do we get in touch with ROO? What is ROO? When is ROO going to go live? What do ROO need from us to be able to go and get? So what's your say? What's next? What's happening next? And how do our listeners and people who are watching this can get in touch with you?
I think Saksham will be able to give better overview of all this.
Honestly, right now we're almost finished with our tech testing. We're partnering with local business and we're onboarding our first wave of driver partners. If you're a driver or if you know someone who's ready to join us, let us know. Early drivers will also get exclusive perks and pricing locked in. Also, for the official launch, we're aiming it for potentially the next couple of months. What we would love from the people is to go on our social media handles, which is ROO_AU on Instagram, and we have a Linktree link there. And there's a link for a forum, which you can go give us suggestions and let us know how we can improve. Because again, for the third time in this podcast, it's for the people, from the people. The more suggestions we have, the more knowledge we have of what we can improve and how we can improve, we'll definitely put it through.
Nice, nice. Hey, so you don't have to be in South Australia to be part of this. You can be anywhere as
Anywhere,
long
Anything.
as,
100%.
yes, 100%. And to all my Gigsters audience and to who have been listening to this, if you can partner with this company, join hands with this company, be part of the community-driven initiative, please join. And I'll put the links of their LinkedIn bios, the website address, and the social handles, so you can click through. If you're unable to click through them, just approach to me, and I'll make the introduction. So, um, they this is the company that I'm going to put on my watch list. I'm going to definitely follow you
100%.
guys, and I'm going to support as much as I can in bringing this to the real world. So pretty excited. Thank you so much for sharing. It's very promising to hear that an industry that has a lot of controversy, lot of stories, lot of things that people have very different perspectives on, and a lot of government trying to do things differently. Is a lot of double handshakes going on. It's very refreshing and very exciting to hear that companies like ROOO comes with the brand new fresh perspective on how this can be done, not only in the right way but also in the most best way possible for both sides of the marketplace. So thank you again for sharing, thank you again for putting this passion to work, thank you again for sticking this with resilience, because I know I'm an immigrant like you. Building a company like an immigrant is no joke, and also coming out of a student life and being on temporary visas and building this is no fun. I'm so much excited. I can't give you enough. Like, I'm so much excited about what's going to happen. So thank you so much. Um, with no further ado, is there any final call to actions that you would like to share?
Thank you so much for having us here. And I know theoretically it all sounds good, but we have got this. We will be able to make it work.
100%.
And all we need is just the local support. That's all.
Exactly right. As long as we're here, don't worry. We're here for you.
Uh, look, you're in the right place. South Australia is where you will get the support like any other place in Australia. So you're in the right place at the right time. So just in a few months, we're going to go really good.
Exactly right.
Well, um, thank you for joining. And listeners, look, thank you for your patience and thank you for staying tuned to this episode. I'm sure you found this very exciting. I am excited. And please do get in touch with Root's team and follow them through. Look, if you're hanging around, check out the other episodes. We've got a lot of other episodes that I've called with companies who have built 50,000 independent contractors over 10 years, disruptive companies across the globe building marketplaces in the gig economy. So stay tuned, watch those episodes on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you grab your episodes from. We'll be there. But if I want to see you next time, don't forget my name. My name is Benjamin and from MyGigsters, and I'd love to see you on the next episode too. Until then, bye bye. Take care.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Benjamin.
you.